Imagine opening your Facebook feed during a normal week in January 2012 and seeing noticeably fewer positive posts from friends, or perhaps very few negative ones, with no indication why. Over the following days, your own posts begin to reflect similar patterns, posting more negatively or more positively to align with what appears in your feed. This occurred because Facebook conducted a controlled experiment on emotional contagion involving nearly 700,000 users, and the results were published in a peer-reviewed journal. The study ran from January 11 to the 18th of January 2012. It included 689,003 randomly selected English-speaking adult Facebook users. Researchers from Facebook, Cornell University, and the University of California, San Francisco adjusted the newsfeed algorithm for participants. In the positive reduction condition, posts containing positive emotional words such as happy, love, or great were omitted from view. In the negative reduction condition, posts with negative emotional words such as sad, hate, or bad were limited. Automated linguistic analysis identified emotional content. Participants were not notified of their inclusion in the experiment. Facebook described the procedure as consistent with its data use policy at the time, which permitted analysis of information for research purposes and service enhancement. The paper, titled Experimental Evidence of Massive-Scale Emotional Contagion Through Social Networks, was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences on the 17th of June 2014. When positive content exposure decreased, participants produced 0.1% fewer positive words and 0.4% more negative words in their own status updates. When negative content exposure decreased, participants produced 0.07% more positive words and 0.06% fewer negative words. These shifts, though small per individual, were statistically significant across the large sample size. The researchers concluded that emotions can transfer through online social networks via the content users view, independent of direct communication or in-person contact. Following publication, the study generated extensive discussion in academic, media, and public forums. Attention centered on ethical considerations in online research, specifically the lack of explicit informed consent and the absence of an opt-out mechanism for participants. PNAS published an expression of concern on the 14th of July 2014, noting questions about whether the study fully met informed consent standards. Several privacy and consumer advocacy organizations submitted formal complaints to regulatory bodies. Media reports covered the experiment's scale and design. Facebook maintained that the work constituted internal product research to improve user experience, that no personally identifiable information was shared externally, and that data analysis used aggregated, anonymized information. Cornell University stated its institutional review board did not require review because the Cornell-affiliated researcher was not directly involved in data collection or interaction with human subjects. No reports documented direct harm to participants from the brief and minor content adjustments. No financial compensation was issued to users, and no regulatory sanctions were imposed as a result. The experiment provided empirical data on how algorithmic curation of social media feeds can influence the emotional tone of user-generated content. It stands as a recorded instance of large-scale observational research in digital social environments. The primary source is the PNAS publication, supplemented by the journal's expression of concern and statements from the involved institutions, all available for review. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. See you next time.